Defending in FC Mobile isn't just about pressing the tackle button. It's about anticipation, positioning, timing, and decision-making. Let's start from the foundation and build up to elite-level defending. Before you can defend like a professional, you must understand what makes a good defender in the game. The first step is learning the core defensive stats. When you're choosing a strong defender, pay close attention to his marking ability, how well he stays close to attackers. Then look at his standing tackle, which determines how cleanly he wins the ball when you press tackle. Sliding tackle is important too, especially in last resort or counter situations. Aggression is another key attribute. It shows how actively your defender presses the opponent. But above all, awareness is the most important quality of a great defender. Awareness shows how intelligently your player positions himself even without your control. A defender with high defensive awareness will automatically cover spaces, mark attackers better, intercept passes, and react quickly to rebounds or loose balls. This is the brain of your defense. Without awareness, your defender will often just stand there watching attackers run past him. A professional-level defender isn't just about tackling, he dominates physically. Strength determines who wins shoulder battles and aerial duels, while aggression shows how hard the defender fights for the ball. High aggression means more pressure on the attacker, while high strength means your defender is much harder to dribble past. If you like physical, commanding defenders such as Vidic, Ramos, or Van Dijk, always check both strength and aggression together. Next comes reactions and interceptions. These two stats decide how fast your defender responds to danger. Reactions affect how quickly a player switches from idle to active mode when the ball changes direction, while interceptions show how intelligently he steps forward to cut a pass. Professional defenders in FC Mobile always have quick reaction times. They step in the moment A through ball is played. It's not about speed, it's about instinct. Now let's talk about pace. Speed matters more than you think. In the current meta, attackers like Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., and Salah can easily humiliate slow defenders. That's why you must check both acceleration and sprint speed. Acceleration helps during short chases, while sprint speed is needed for longer recovery runs. A good center back should have at least 110 pace, while fullbacks often need 120 or more to keep up with fast wingers. If your defenders are slow, use drop-back tactics to protect them. But ideally, balance pace and strength together. Passing and ball control are the hidden defensive weapons that most players ignore. Modern defending starts with building from the back. That's why top players prefer defenders who can pass confidently. Short passing helps you play under pressure, while long passing allows you to switch play or start counterattacks. A defender who can't pass properly will always invite unnecessary pressure. Height and aerial ability are just as important. Height matters, especially during corners and crosses. A defender around 6 feet or taller is ideal for aerial dominance. Combine that with strong jumping and heading accuracy to win headers. If your defense struggles against crosses, prioritize tall, strong defenders with great aerial stats. But if you face more pacey players, slightly shorter but quicker defenders might suit you better. Don't ignore defensive traits. Those small icons can have a huge impact. Traits define how your player behaves in-game. The dives into tackles trait improves AI tackling reactions. Power header boosts header goals and defensive clearances. Leadership helps maintain team composure. And long passer is excellent for starting quick counterattacks from the back. Always check these traits before making a decision. Another crucial aspect is work rates, something many players completely overlook. Work rates determine your defender's mindset. The defensive work rate shows how actively a player tracks back, while the attacking work rate shows how often he pushes forward. For center backs, you need high defensive and low attacking work rates. For fullbacks, aim for high defensive and medium attacking work rates so they defend first and overlap only when needed. If a center back has a medium defensive work rate, he might get caught out of position too easily. And if he has a high attacking work rate, he'll often wander too far up the pitch, leaving space behind. Always consider work rates if you want to defend like a pro. Many players ask how to identify a covering center back. After watching this video, you can easily recognize one. A covering CB is built through the right combination of stats. Awareness, strength, pace, aggression, and positioning all come together to make him reliable in every situation. Once you've selected the right defensive backline, it's time to learn the professional defensive tactics that will take your gameplay to the next level. Let's move forward to real-time defending techniques. The first skill you must master is positioning, the foundation of all defending. Defending isn't about chasing, it's about placing yourself between the ball and the goal. The biggest mistake new players make is rushing in and spamming the tackle button randomly. That's a gamble because if you miss, you'll be punished instantly. Instead, you should shadow your opponent. Move side by side. Control your player's speed using the sprint button lightly and wait until the attacker takes a heavy touch. That's your moment to strike. If you want to win the ball cleanly, you need to understand the timing of standing tackles. Use standing tackles when the opponent dribbles too close, when you have the right speed and angle, and when you're not sprinting at full speed. Never tackle from behind. You'll foul or lose position. Always approach slightly from the front or side. Sliding tackles should only be used occasionally and with intent. Slide only when you're blocking a through ball, when the attacker is about to shoot, or when you're the last man defending in an emergency. Professional defenders slide with precision, not randomly. In shoulder-to-shoulder challenges, release the sprint button for a moment. Your defender will automatically use his body strength to nudge the opponent off the ball. High-strength defenders like Van Dijk and Vidic are masters at this technique. Here's a pro tip. You can make a tackle in two different ways. The first is by pressing the tackle button, which most players already know, but the second method is something professionals use often, by switching players manually. Sometimes, simply switching to the defender facing the attacker makes him automatically step in and take the ball cleanly, without committing a foul. This works especially well with elite defenders who have high awareness and positioning. They'll make the tackle at the perfect moment, something that even manual input can't always achieve. Next, you need to learn how to read the game like a pro. This is where average defenders become elite. Professionals don't just react, they predict, anticipate passes. In head-to-head matches, watch your opponent's striker movement. If he drops back or positions near your center back, expect a through ball. Move your defender early in that direction to intercept. Also, watch body angles. Every player's body position gives you clues. If the winger is angled slightly inside, expect a through ball into the box. If he's facing wide, he's preparing to cross. Reading these cues helps you position your defenders before the danger even begins. You also need to keep your team's defensive shape under control. Defending isn't just about one player, it's about the entire backline working together. The number one rule is never drag your center backs out of position. When you pull them out, you leave huge gaps behind. Instead, use your CDMs or fullbacks to apply pressure while your center backs stay central and hold their line. Your defensive midfielders are your shield. Many average players make the mistake of not using CDMs at all. In formations like the 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 holding, CDMs protect your defense. Use them to intercept passes, delay attacks, and block through balls. Never pull them too far forward. They're your first line of protection. Handling fast attackers like Mbappé or Vinicius Jr. requires composure. Always use the speed and awareness formula. If your defender isn't fast, start your movements earlier. Anticipate where the attacker will go, not where he currently is. Use the contain and delay technique by holding the joystick and running backward diagonally. This forces attackers wide and away from your goal. It's one of the smartest ways to control quick opponents. Another important skill is tracking runs early. Whenever you lose possession, quickly look at your striker positions. Your opponent will try to counterattack immediately. Switch to your center backs and move them back even before the ball is passed. Manual switching is your best friend here. This is what professional players do. They react before the play begins. You must also understand the balance between AI defending and manual defending. FC Mobile's AI can help, but it can also betray you if you depend on it too much. AI defenders automatically hold shape when you don't touch them, which is sometimes the smarter move, especially when the opponent is far from your goal. But once he enters your final third, switch to manual control. Decide who cuts off passes, who blocks the lane, and who makes the tackle. The balance between AI patience and manual precision is what separates professionals from casual players. Now, let's talk about set-piece defending. Corners and free kicks. Always use your tallest defender, usually a center back, to mark the opponent's main aerial threat. Switch to that player just before the ball is crossed, move him a step toward the ball's path, and time your jump perfectly. Timing is everything when it comes to headers. Finally, let's move to advanced professional defending. The secrets that top 100 FC Mobile players use. Elite defenders mix zonal and manual defending. They don't just follow attackers, they mark zones, predicting where the ball will go. This blocks passing lanes and forces mistakes. They also use interception traps by slightly moving their center back forward to bait a through ball, then stepping in with perfect timing. It's risky, but when done right, it's extremely rewarding. These skills come only with practice. Professional defenders also master defensive switching. They never rely on auto-switch. They use manual player switching, tapping or pressing the switch button early to stay one step ahead. Always switch to the next defender before the opponent gets close. Another thing they do is use the second defender wisely. Never spam it. Overusing teammate contain breaks your defensive shape. Tap it only when your main defender is blocking passing lanes. Use it to delay the attacker, not to win the ball directly. Professionals use the second defender strategically, especially in the center or at the edges of the box with halfbacks. It's about control, not panic. And now comes the most important point of all: defensive patience. Professional defending isn't flashy. It's calm, intelligent, and patient. Your goal isn't to win the ball instantly, it's to force your opponent into making a mistake. Contain, delay, cut off angles, and strike only when the perfect moment comes. True defenders wait for the attacker to reveal his move, then take the ball cleanly and start a counterattack instantly. If you're looking for examples of great defenders, players like Vidic, Van Dijk, Maldini, Thuram, and Baresi are perfect models. They all share one thing: elite positioning and discipline. So remember this: professional defending in FC Mobile isn't about being flashy. It's about control. Control over your player, your team's shape, and your emotions. Every tackle, interception, and block is a battle between patience and panic. The pro defender stays calm. He watches, predicts, delays, and wins the ball like a master of the art. So the next time you play, don't chase and don't rush. Defend smart. Defend with confidence. Watch your opponent grow frustrated, running out of options, wondering how you became so good at shutting them down. And that's it, friends. I hope you learned many new things from this guide. If you did, let me know in the comments, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.